Hello, SNA Assassinators again. Is the Super Ninja Austin, and I'm sorry that it took like an extra probably 20 minutes rather than seconds. I was just having some technical difficulties on my webcam, but no worries, I got that fixed, and I'm back here for one more last video of the night, and that is AEW Rampage. And yeah, some of y'all are probably saying, like, I understand how you're still making these Rampage review videos when they're almost at the end of making their this weekly show, like, because like after when they're in the deal in 2025 with Max, like when they simulcast Dynamite and Collision, they're no longer going to have Rampage be airing new episodes. And that's true, and I promise you, assassinators, that I will be only going to be making Dynamite and Collision review videos in the future of 2025. When they simulcast to Max, like when they're still going to be on TNT and TBS. But yeah, but we're gonna talk about what has happened tonight, like with some really good matches, including two in particular. One match like was criticized for having like a major match, like and it's a comeback match, like in this show in particular when the show is still barely standing and it's about to be get rid of by the next 30 days, if not less. But anyways, that's where we got first match. Like it was Brian Keith taking on Matt Cardona, and then funny coincidence, I just talked about the Indie God's wife, like over in the other company, which she's on her way of winning a championship of her own, which is tomorrow night, which is going to be in his hometown of Long Island, New York, which that's where Matt Cardona coincidentally is going to be in that exact same state when he's going to be facing Chris Jericho at Final Battle at Ring of Honor. But that's where we got they show a replay from last night on Ring of Honor television with him doing after they signed a contract. You saw Matt Cardona hit the leg rider and the spine buster right through what's his name onto Chris Jericho. This is where Chris Jericho thought that, while sitting with the commentators, Matt Menard, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone, that he's gonna pay the damn price. Like and Brian Keith promised he's gonna make him do, because he disrespected his teacher of the learning tree. But unfortunately, he did everything but made him pay the price because unfortunately Brian Keith was not the one over Matt Cardona. This is where he tried. But they were still like in the best city of the United States because this was pre-taped from Wednesday. But we're gonna get into that in just a moment. But this is where we got Matt Cardona got the offense in, but winning the grappling battle. But Brian Keith, this is where Brian Keith was like, all right, you won this match. This is where he put a little slap shove with him going to the outside. It's where he told the referees, like, I'm gonna get in the ring when the referee started demanding him to get in the ring so he won't get counted out. Like, I am getting the ring as long as he stepped back. This is where the referee tells Matt Cardona to step right back. This is where he proudly did so. Step like probably about 10 feet away from here. This is where Matt Cardona holds on to his foot. This is where he went right immediately countered by the Indie God and the King of Death matches. This is where we got Matt Cardona did send him right to the top side, splashed on him, send him right to the bottom left side is where we got Matt Cardona runs right to the side. Is where we got Brian Keith trying to attack, but this is where he made a big mistake that he did not know what he's going to do, which is where he gets kneed right to the face. This is where he got him probably get a drop kick, but Brian Keith was heading this way, so he had to leap dodge. This is where he waited for him to turn around so he get a flapjack right onto the student of the learning tree. This is where Matt Cardona told him to get right back up, so he hit that flying clothesline. Is where he ends up hitting it right with the corners, where he went right to the opposite corner in the bottom left side when Brian was down in the bottom turnbuckle in the bottom right side. Is where he was about to hit that big boot right to the face, but let's just say it did not work. Like what's his name? Brian Keith countered and moved out of the way, and you know the rules in professional wrestling. Like if it doesn't work the first attempt, it's always going to be the guaranteed the second attempt. That's where he did this boot without the woo because he's no longer that guy, because he said that version of himself is dead and has been dead for the last 4 or 5 years. That's where it's like, oh, come on to Brian Keith. Where Brian Keith run out of the ring, like some might call him a coward, which I don't think that's a cowardly move. I think this is the smart move from the Bad Apple student of the learning tree. Is where once he went to the bottom corner side, what's the name outsmarted him, Matt Cardona, by hitting a baseball sliding kick right to the face and right down to the ground. Matt Cardona's like, Like, you're not the only smart wrestler in this match. Is where we got Matt Cardona that hit him face first, right to the left corner side, and him running around in the ringside area. It's where Cardona managed to put him back in the ring, but it's where you got Brian Keith then went right to the right corner side. I totally forgot to tell you, like when Chris Jericho was sitting with the commentator, he was wearing a New York Yankees hat. And for those that are unaware of like what he's doing, well, he's wearing that because he's claiming he's the king of New York, but he's also doing it in a town that's the competitors of the best city of the United States baseball team when the ALD conference division, yeah, like which is the Royals, yeah, which they're big rivals with the New York Yankees. They have been for the last, probably 3 centuries. Like, yeah, even my parents even said that to me one time before. Like, yeah, when it comes to me being a fan of the Yankees, when Derek Jeter was the hitter at the time, him and Alex Rodriguez. Which that was when the Yankees was in their heydays. I mean, they are in their heydays now with their new hitter that's like the next Jeter. But yeah, this is when they were like a monster team. Like, and this is when the Royals was not like won the World Series, and they finally won, but it was back in 2015, when Alex Rodriguez and what's his name, Derek Jeter was already retired at the time. But they have one team they had to worry about, and that was the Yankees. But they finally got their World Series. They beat the other team in New York, which was the Mets, which was a funny coincidence because they're in the other team in the NLD, I guess, division. Yeah. But this is where we got Matt Cardona going for we went right to the right court side, but this is where he gets slipped and he went right face first, right up the center of the steel steps. This is where Brian Keith finally got him right where he wanted him in the offense side, get ready to beat the rear end of the Indie God. Like he promised Matt Cardona that he was going to do because he disrespected his teacher. Like, you do not do that. That's what Chris Jericho even reminded to the commentator. And I'm like, this is like 2020 all over again for him being entertaining in the commentary booth. But like when he's not wrestling in the match, but it's where he's like, yeah, like he always let people know, like when you make him pay the price, like when you disrespect the Learning Tree professor here right now, and the King of New York as well. This is where we're going to try to go for a pin on the Matt Cardona. He kicks out at 2.5, and this is where Brian Keith wouldn't stop arguing with the referee. He's like, you better not disrespect me. Well, he did not say that, but it looked like he was about to, though. This is where we got Brian Keith starts screaming. He got his legs wrapped around onto the on the ropes around the neck. This is where the ropes like, can you hear me? This is where Brian Keith like, no, like I cannot hear you out of this ear. Like you have to come to my right ear and shout at my ear to tell me to stop and get me to count. Like this is where referee's like, all right, like, but let go or you will be DQ'd. This is where then Brian Keith like, oh, shut up, like don't threaten me with that. And this is where got they slapping Matt Cardona right in the chest, right in the bottom right corner side, earning him like a second place spot, while Matt Cardona with number 1 because his was louder. This is where he get hit with a struck bionic elbow right to the head, like if he was a certain American Dream wrestler. That's one of the late legends in the business. This is where Brian Keith then heard. I heard some of the KC fans, and they're like, "Boo! You are horrible." Which which I thought I would think of the total opposite. Like this, where it's like, "Shut up, boy! You want to get back fisted?" And I start dying with laughter. Could be wrestler of the night for sure. Him and Jericho yet again, this past Wednesday on the Winter's Coming edition of Dynamite, but this is the Winter's Coming edition of Rampage. It's where the Brian Keith starts sounding like he's not ready for the Learning Tree. I'm like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe that's not his speed. But it's where we got Matt Cardona's like, yeah, you are right. This is where it's the forearm strike. He's like, yeah, I don't want to learn anything what the Learning Tree has to offer. I have to offer anyways. This is where he threw him right to the right side. Brian Keith was like, oh yeah, this is where he hangs on to the ropes. This is where he fell right down to the ground. This is where Brian Keith was like, well, I'm going to show you like why you need the Learning Tree. This is where he boots him right to the side of the face. Even though he's not learning, he's not like learning from the branches of material enough to be in joining the Learning Academy. Like even if he wanted to, like maybe it's not his speed and it's not his not his league, I guess you could say. Like it's not in his league, I should say. Yeah, that's where we got Bill, Brian Keith, hit a big boot right into the face of Matt Cardona, but he still have his legs wrapped around on the top rope. This is where Matt Cardona barely got in the ring, but this is where he's getting hit with right hands. I'm like, yeah, he's finally kicking his butt, like, because he did disrespect to Chris Jericho last night, and even the week before that. Like, so I guess he's paying the price on that, but not the full price, because somehow, like, he only paid like half price. Like, even though Brian Keith told him not to pay half price. But this is where Matt Cardona said, like, I'm gonna pay the rest in my got. I was like, ain't that against the rule in disqualification matches? Which I'm not sure about that. I guess it didn't have nothing to do with getting of hitting your opponent with a weapon. Like, that's not supposed to be that's supposed to be inhibited, like, into this match. But this one got back Cardona, snapmare flips him off the top rope, making him land right to the middle of the floor. That made him went right into the left side of the ring in the canvas onto the canvas. This one Matt Cardona managed to kip up himself right back up. This where he thought he hit his comeback maneuver, including a face buster maneuver when he got Irish whip right to the right quarter side. This is where he point him, like, we was heading over to the upper right side. Like, I'm not quite done with you yet. This is where then he's like, get up. They start hitting some elbow strikes after elbow strikes right onto the bounty hunter. This is where he even did one more for good measure when we was down in the corner. Is where Matt Cardona started smiling, like, when he was even he hit a big boot right to the face, his signature move. And it's like what I said, if it doesn't work the first time, it's gonna be a guarantee the second time. That was the case right here at the match, but in this spot. But what was not a guaranteed was the pinfall afterwards, and that was which he got denied with a kick out of 2.6. This is where Matt Cardona was like, I get the most not the most intimidating move. Is where then he went right to the upper right side, like, after he gets immediately headbutted by Brian Keith. He tried running to attack him, but he gets kneed right to the face. Matt Cardona then go for a missile drop kick to sit right to the bottom left side. Matt Cardona then pointed at him, was like, all right, now it's time for the what's that called, the leg rider, but this is where he gets intercepting Uranagi slam, which I'm not sure if that was a guarantee. I'm not sure if that was a counter or an interception. Maybe it's just an interception, because if he already got in position with that maneuver, that would have been a counter. But this is where we got. We were so close with this signature Uranagi slam. Like, this is where he got denied with a kick out of 2.4. This is where Brian Keith, like, I probably would have seen a 2.9, but not half of it. This is where did he try to go for a double underhook. This is where Matt Cardona was not allowing him to do that. But this is where we got what's his name, like, Brian Keith managed to hit a big knee strike, which that was very clever and genius of him. No, it was like he had a knee strike when he was down, when he was going for a pinfall. Like, when after what's his name, Matt Cardona went for, what move was it? It was after he did that counter out of the double underhook maneuver that Matt Cardona. It was like a hit version of like a beach break or something like that. But this is where he gets Brian Keith around it, but this is where he gets hit with his own version of the O-Matic, like from Adam Copeland. But once you talk over a pin, this is where Brian Keith had his right leg up, which was, he did a right knee strike right in the back of the head of Matt Cardona that brought him down for good. This is where even Shivani admitted that was very genius of him to come up with a kick out reversal like that. Is where when he followed that up with a step up in Sagiri, looking like if he's his own version of Eddie Kingston. That's where we go for a wheelbarrow roll-up, but it's where Matt Cardona hangs onto the rope. This is where out of nowhere he hits the leg rider maneuver, which he calls it the recourse silence. I believe that's what he calls it, for the 1, 2, 3. And the winner of this match, Matt Cardona. And I'll give this match probably the golden trophy of the night. It was like exactly like we expected to be. It was very entertaining. Like, and if these guys could put on a magical event on a barely C+ show, or C show, I should say. Like, then imagine what's gonna happen at ROH Final Battle between him and Chris Jericho for the grand prize of that brand. Even though it's Ring of Honor, but that don't matter when it comes to two big stars that are well experienced when it comes to good matches. But this is where Matt Cardona let Jericho know that that he will indeed be the new Ring of Honor World Champion. But this is where we moved back and went with Harley Cameron, like doing a little advertisement of the sales with AEW merchandise for this Christmas by doing so by singing her version of "On the First Day of Christmas," with like 12-1, like with how many merchandise is gonna be like it's gonna be on sale. That's where we move on and went to the next match of the night, which I think was it Thomas Tony Storm? Or not Tom, what's it Tom? The returning Tony Storm. And some people that there's rumor going on that some of the, or if not most of the women in the locker room did not really like this match to be in on AEW Rampage, which I'm gonna get into right after I review this show. I'm not sure this match afterwards. After I reviewed the match, where it was start off with both went well first time was Tony Storm coming out the ring, but her her old self what she was like when she first came to AEW and when she was at the other company, like her rock and roll rebel self, like this where like she let know that this version of Tony Storm's back, and this is where she faced the jobber but entertaining Harley Cameron, I guess you could say. It is the battle of these two Australian girls that the one's gonna be the dominant one, while the other one was just the enhancement act to put over the dominant returning Tony Storm. And yeah, it was exactly like how we predicted it to be. Like, even though this could have been in a much bigger show, at least like on a Dynamite or a Collision, it's where there was a big ovation for both girls, like with both fighting in this match. With fans started chanting for Tony, though, like with them knowing that she was gonna win and she's the baby face in this fight. But yeah. But yeah, this is where Harley Cameron offered her hand. This is where the top was like, okay, like why not? But this is where she knew that it was all a trap, because this is where we got Thomas Tony Storm like easily got out of the headlock that Harley Cameron executed on her. This is where she hit her own. But she ends up getting eyes from the top corner side. This is where then she shoulder tackles Harley Cameron. She went to the right side. This is where then she kind of turned to Leo Rush by running every right side corners and hit a drop kick when she was in the bottom side. This is where she goes for a slap, roundhouse kick, runs right back to the bottom corner side rope, hits a boot right into the front of Harley Cameron. Is where we go for a suplex onto right to the bottom right side. Is where we got This is where we got Thomas Tony Storm to start going for a knife edge chop. This is where we got for a chop. This is where they go right up on top of Harley Cameron. This is where she start hitting some right hands right into the face onto Harley Cameron. I believe at least half a dozen. This is where she ends up getting flapjacked right into the face by Harley Cameron. This is where she got her in the corner right to the exact same bottom right side by spearing her right to the midsection. Then she then streaked out like this is what she and that's where she was like, we'll be right back after these very important messages. If this idiot knows who the hell she is. And I was wondering what she was referring to. I believe she was probably referring to Thomas Tony Storm. I'm getting too used to calling her by her old nickname, like with her old character when she was the 1920s actress persona. But I guess she was like she's still losing her mind. But I think she's back in her mind, and we got to thank Mariah May for that. Ever since he stabbed her right in the back or in the head with her heel, with her own heel, it's like it seemed like that. It seemed like that she's back to her normal self. Like ever since she lost the title from her former protege. But that's where we got Harley Cameron got some offense in onto Tony, surprisingly. Like it was like plenty, like with her throwing her right to the Barry's tombstone, kneeling her right into the midsection, threw her right back in the ring, Irish whip in the bottom corner side, hit a side elbow when the partial break was on, which is the partial powerful force in professional wrestling. It's where we got her going for a snapmare. This is where she go for elbow to the head. But when the adverts was off, this is where we got Thomas Tony Storm was back in control. It's where then he hits the running hip attack, and then she followed that up, I believe, with the Storm Zero. 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Tony Storm. And yep, she's back. Is her again, like with her rock and roll self. And some of the and I heard that from a rumored report, like the women backstage did not like this match being in in a Rampage show, a show that's barely on, that's about to be canceled by 2025, and they found it very appalling. Which I wouldn't disagree with them for saying that, because why would you make I need to stop saying Tony Storm, just Tony Storm, her return match be on a very downgraded show, that's barely the C show of AEW. Which I totally agree on that, but I'm not trying to be too much of a negative Nancy. But I'm just trying to stop. I'm just looking at it logically. I wouldn't have minded if it was on her first match since her return was on a collision show, something that's going to stay on along with AEW Dynamite. Tomorrow, she could have had a match with anybody. Even if it was Harley Cameron, it would have been perfectly fine. But because this match was something main event level, but at the same time, this was a middle card squash match with Tony Storm was going to be the girl be over. But I still would give this match, I'll say the bronze trophy. Why not? But this is where we got a little vignette between Commander with a K and Brody King that's still right into the last place mark, with them trying to get a win with. But them still point out that Brody King only got one win, while Commander McKay have no wins. Even after Juice Robinson was replaced by them, it seemed like he cannot get a W from that spot. And this is where the Brody King let him know that he better give everything that he has to offer, because once he's in the ring with him, he's not going to show no mercy, basically, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get on top and become the next Continental Champion. And who do you think is going to win? But this match coming up next, I believe, is going to be tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, on AEW Collision. The winner's coming edition, I should say. But this is where she took on this enhancement account named Shazza McKenzie. I mean, I got to admit, she did bring in a few fights, but this is where Deonna Purrazzo was overpowering her, hitting her knife edge chops right into the upper left corner. And the reason why we haven't seen Kaya Valkyrie, which it was said by the commentators that the Virtuosa gave her the night off because she deserved it for all her hard work that she's been doing. And this is where we got. But this is where we got. What's her name? Here we got. What's her name? Shazza McKenzie did within some wrist lock maneuver, trying to Irish whip Deonna Purrazzo. This is where she's trying to hit her with a strike. This is where Deonna ducks out of the way. This is where she clotheslines the poor jobber. This is where she's sending her right to the bottom right side. She went right to the diagonal side, the upper left. This is where she's trying to attack her, but this is where she moved out of the way. This is where she blocked and punched, hit a right hand strike. This is where we got the AEW newcomer, I guess you could say. Got tripped right over. She got landed in the tree of woe. This is where we got this is where then we got Deonna didn't hit a punch. This is where she starts slapping the turnbuckle right to the upper left side. Hits a bear hug spear right into the midsection on the McKenzie. This is where she hits this power bomb, knees down power bomb, turned to the arm bar that made this poor girl scream bloody murder when she put the arm bar onto her, locked in. This is where then we got Deonna Purrazzo had her hand held high, and this is where she was smiling with pride, saying that was not really a hard match. It was a difficult match, I should put it. But this is where we got Alex Marvez. Then had a backstage interview with Chris Statlander, a girl that we haven't seen since AEW Full Gear, which I wish that we won't be seeing her until the next couple of months. Just saying. Okay, I'm just kidding. But this is where we got what's his name? Alex Marvez seriously said I thought we saw he was trying to fight the CEO Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship at Full Gear, which was the best women's match of AEW as of late. And this is where then Chris Statlander totally agreed. This is where she was totally Yeah, absolutely. Like it was totally like the best women's match. Like, and yeah, even, like I know it, and even Mercedes know it. Like she won't stop saying that how much of a great match it was. Which yeah, who could blame her? Because yeah, like it shows that she's improving, like in the ring, and she's proving the haters wrong that she's not like a terrible wrestler. Like, and the same goes to Kristen Statlander here. That like yeah, she's the same. Like it's just that like she still needs to get justice served to her, at least a quarter of it, and that's what we're probably going to be seeing because Chris Statlander's not done with her yet because she was like like even though like I do like the first thing I should worry about right now is tomorrow or who's my challenge or my next opponent is like since my match a month ago but that will be just a piece of cake. But maybe I should get a front row seat to watch the match between Anna Jay and Mercedes Moné, like for that TBS title in Washington D.C. on their Holiday Bash edition of Dynamite, and then like and she gonna. And like whoever wins, she was like, let's just say I'm gonna have unfinished business with the TBS title, a title that she haven't lost by pinfall, but not until she lost by pinfall by the CEO herself. But it's where let me know in the comment section right down below. Like, what are your thoughts on this time? And do you think we should see a rematch for the TBS Championship? And do you think this time Kristen Statlander should win? Which I just don't know if that would be the case. And I'm not sure what would be the point of that to do a rematch in that caliber. But the other reason I would say yes to do it because we still need to get some justice served by Kristen here with her getting powerbomb right to a table. Then it fools the satisfaction to us victims of Kristen, I guess you could say. But anyways, this is where to start advertising the ROH Final Battle event, which that's like about a week away. Like I'm not sure it was, but yeah, it's gonna be probably next weekend more likely. And who are your predictions like for those that know everything about Ring of Honor and what match is gonna be on the card? And I'm so sorry that not knowing this. Like maybe I should start following Ring of Honor just a little bit on who's the current champions. I barely know one of them being Chris Jericho. I think Athena's the women's champion, but let me know who's the rest of them because they barely feature the Ring of Honor champions on AEW these days. Like ever since like they're mostly focusing on when Ring of Honor is a separate brand than AEW is. Like I think the other champions I know is probably what's their name, Sammy Guevara and what's their name? What's the name? Dustin Rhodes is the tag team champion. All the trio champions is also Dustin Rhodes, but he's teaming with the Von Erich brothers, like the younger Von Erich, the sons of the legendary Kevin Von Erich. But anyways, yeah. But let me know in the comments down below who's gonna be in the card and who's gonna be walking out as the winners and the champions, like in that night. And let's where we move on. We go on to the next slide. We got the Don Callis family. Like, and yeah, this gets the silver trophy of the night. Yeah. But that's where it was Don Callis. Came out with the Don Callis family because Tony Schiavone calls him out, just like that other commentator guy that's like a legend in his work at the other company. This is where what's his name? This is where what's his name? Antonio Schiavone then pointed out the obvious from the fans in the best city of the United States to Excalibur. He's like, now, like, yeah, you can hear these fans we're hearing their reactions about these guys, the Don Callis family. I think that most specifically, I think I know what they think about you, Mr. Callis, and your family. Like this is where and this is where Don Callis then got on the microphone saying like I got one important word to say, and this is where we got Donald Callis then said like, you know, Antonio, like I know you're very shocked about how we conduct business, but like what business you think you're in, Mr. Schiavone? Because I am getting over making money business. Like so is Kyle, so is Takechka, and so is Archer. Like and yeah, he start going down. He's like, and if you don't believe me, why don't you bring the machine? Like like now, the Murder Machine, that's what they call themselves, Lance Archer and Brian Cage, like are the most dangerous tag team in the history of AEW. I'm like, if that was fully accurate, they would be tag team champions right now. It is where we got Don Callis was yeah, Konosuke Takeshita is the greatest international champion in AEW, and that brings me to the Proto Star, and I was like, I think he's actually a totally different P-word star that he is. But we're going to get into that into a later video. But this is where Don Callis was like, I would mind everybody. Like, there's a guy running around there that he thought that he was a wrestler that we ever seen. And his name is Mr. Will Ospreay, or William Ospreay, if you want to be properly speaking, just like your favorite Super Ninja assassin. This is where, but once he got in the ring with Kyle Fletcher, right, it might get not so quite the greatest wrestler. Will, let's just say he did not just beat you, Will, but he dominated you. He put you down, basically. And you never will be the same. And you sit home and watch, basking in our glory. I have one more question for you, Ospreay. How does it feel? How does it feel, bruv? And this is where I was like, insult to injuries. But this is where he went. This is where he went from Will Ospreay to Kazuchika Okada. And it's okay, I can relate and agree with him on this right here, what he's about to say. It's where he's just a few short days later, he did the impossible. He got away with a win, not only just one win, but two wins, with the second win, being against the Continental Champion himself. I'm like, yeah, I got to give him props for that. And, yeah, and a praise for that, a round of applause for that. It is and he's the greatest tournament wrestler in history, and that was Kazuchika Okada that and he beat Okada. So Okada, you sitting home and watching, I was like, yeah, with his remedial self, which that's a different topic for a different day. But it's where he's I got a question for you. How does it feel, biscuit, iced tea, chicken, hot cakes? And I was like, yeah, he killed it on that one. I gotta hand it to Don Callis on that, because he really is a biscuit, iced tea, chicken, hot cakes man. Or should I say, bitch man? But anyways, this is where he grabbed the mic, he gave the microphone on to Kyle Fletcher. This is where Kyle Fletcher got on the microphone with him taking off his shades, and this is where then he finally speak on the microphone. This is where, but first we got fans start booing him out the building, if he was a certain dirty ex-condom. And this is where then but Kyle Fletcher then he was like, you can cheer for you fine, go ahead, cheer for that bum Ospreay and boo me all you want, but the takers is absolutely nothing. I am currently 25 years old, and then I got a Lex on my wrist, and because it costs more than what you drive, Os, because I will be the winner of the Continental Classic. And I'm like, look, if it's life or death, maybe I would root for this guy, but I just don't think he's going to win the Continental Classic. As a matter of fact, I think he's going to be in the finals, but he's going to face Will Ospreay, and he's probably going to be the one to lose to the Aerial Assassin, with them having a rematch happening in a funny coincidental manner. Well, in kayfabe, that is. But yeah, he's going to probably be the one to defeat him and become the new Continental Champion. And I hope my boy Will Ospreay does get the push of becoming another mid-card champion that's going to lead him up into a future run with the AEW Championship. But it's where the Kyle Fletcher's there's no way that you're going to get out of my way from me and my destiny. This is where Don Callis is yeah, and it's very obvious to me. The fans were booing him and barely let him get the word in. This is where Don Callis the Don Callis family, and the 1% of all elite wrestling, we're not like the rest of you guys. And this is where he yeah, just because we're 1%, I'm totally confident for saying this. There's no one in the back, that's big enough or bad enough like to get get away with us, and this is where he spoke too soon because it's where one of its biggest and baddest members of the Don Callis family that he completely ignored and came out with Mark Davis, and yep, you guessed it, it was Powerhouse Hobbs himself. And so I was like, I guess you spoke too soon, Mr. Donald Callis. And this is where then he then was thinking the same thing. This is where then this is where we do get the match. This is where we got Powerhouse Hobbs. Then went face to face with Konosuke Takeshita, but this is where we got what's her name? Stop this from turning into a fight. Aubrey Edwards. This is where the Powerhouse Hobbs started things off with the Alpha himself. This is where anyway, Lance Archer's like, oh wait, Takeshita, I want a shot at the author of the Book of Hobbs. Like, it is where he wants to ask him a few questions about the book, about like where did he what made him what made him want to write books, and this is where Powerhouse Hobbs immediately answered by doing his moves on him, like with him, like was like you were asking questions. This is where he started some strikes on him, but this is where fans start cheering on Powerhouse Hobbs while booing what's the name Lance Archer. This is where he needs him right in the midsection, kind of cheating the wrestling tennis. That's where we got him. We got Powerhouse Hobbs finally get to finish his answers about what made him made the book and what the book is all about, and what's been what inspired to make the story in the first place. It's where he throws him right to the right side. It's where he put him in the left side. It's where he hits a big headbutt right onto the Murder Hawk monster. Send him right to the bottom left side. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You think you could help me with getting Kamir's clothes?
Yeah, sure. One more second.
Do what? I gotta do what? And a bag of clothes. It is not. It is not. Oh. Why the taking? Did you put the ice cream up? I'm winning. Why you know what I mean?
Right? Eat some quick trip ice cream. Back to the main event of AEW Rampage, and it continued with the Powerhouse and the Murder Hawk Monster, with with uh with the former TT champion, right on top of Lance Archer. This where he started hitting some right hands right to the face, like about 10 straight times in a row. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 with the rougher, with Aubrey Edwards just telling him like you gotta let go, because if you don't in the next 5 seconds, you'll be disqualified. It's all part of the rules, not her rules. That's where the Powerhouse wrestlers start hitting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This where then we got what's his name, Kenosuke Tetsu, trying to create a distraction, trying to get catch Powerhouse Hobbs off his guard, but he nearly hit a right hand right to the face onto what's his name to Kenosuke. This is where he tags in Mark Davis. This is where we got Saint Mark, or St. Davis, whatever you want to call him, that came up there. He's like, hit some right hands right to the face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this where he got off. This where then he tags in the Powerhouse, where they did a double team onto the 7-foot monster. This where they threw him right to the upper right side. It's where we got Mark Davis went and clothesline Archer, while Powerhouse Hobbs did a clothesline on his own. This is where we got both Hobbs and what's his name, Mark Davis, did Rebel Irish Whip Lance. This is where he tried to go for a leaping dodge, but he realized that there was nobody coming. So this is where he went right behind what's his name? Waistlock right on to Mark Davis. This is where we got Power Stop trying to go for a clothesline, trying to go for like a double team combination, but this is where he hits a right hand right to the face of Powerhouse. Back elbows, what's his name? Mark Davis. This is where we got Lance Archer shout out, let go. Here we go. This is where he gets double shoulder tackled by Powerhouse Hobbs and Mark Davis onto the process. Where you got Mark Davis readjusted his elbow pad. Like, it's about to hit the hidden blade. Just like my boy Will Ospreay. Like, this is where we got Mark Davis and Powerhouse Hobbs trying to go for a double suplex. But this is where they did slammed him right to the ground. This is where we got Mark Davis going for a cover. Where we got a 1. We got right where we only got a kick out of 2.2. This is where Lance Archer somehow got the interception started the forearm strike right to the face. Like, and that is it. This is where they start continuing to do his 2-on-1 disadvantage onto the 1.5 member of the Aussie Open, the former member of Aussie Open. I should rephrase myself. And then we got Konosuke Takeshita. When he got tagged in, he was we got a kick out at 2.6, if I'm mistaken, or something like that. Is where we got the Alpha then send him right to the outside, threw him right to the bottom left side. Is where then he threw him right to the bottom side, with Lance Archer going for double knees to the face. This is where then we got while there was a picture-in-picture partial most powerful forces all of professional wrestling on. But once we got the advert on, this is where we got what's his name? Kyle Fletcher finally started fighting back. Like, this is where he was in the offense side. Like, he was struggling to try to tag in Powerhouse Hobbs. This is where we got Lance Archer trying to go for a splash, but he ends up moving out of the way. This is where we got what's his name? What's his name? Mark Davis was about to tag in the Powerhouse. But that's where he ends up getting attacked by Lance Archer with a boot. This is where he tags in Konosuke. This is where then we got the Alpha and the current international champion trying to lift up Mark Davis. But Mark Davis was not letting them have it. And this where he tried to go for a suplex of his own, like, get up. And this where Konosuke Takeshita was too difficult for him to pick up. This where Konosuke then hit a brain buster on his own. This is where we got the Alpha that was about to hit the running knee onto the Aussie Open member. Was this where he moved out of the way, hits a running schoolboy and tried to go for a roll-up, which is the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling. But he hits a forearm strike right into the face. This is where Mark Davis did not know who was his partner because he barely knew it was Friday. So yeah, he's gonna be confused who he's just tags for Powerhouse. I was like, me, and this where he's like, oh sorry, this where he tags him. The Powerhouse is where he made his comeback right onto Konosuke to catch, getting trying to Irish whip him right to the upper right side, I meant to say. But he gets kicked right to the face when he tried to attack him. He made a big mistake, but not which move what he was supposed to use is where he gets. That's where he got to go. This where he runs up the bar. So he almost we got spine buster, but he immediately flipped right out of it. You know the rules of professional wrestling. If it's not a successful move to hit that first, it's gonna be guaranteed the second time. That's where Konosuke Takeshita get an elbow strike right to the face, went right to the left side. He hits a running clothesline right onto Konosuke, but somehow Konosuke Takeshita got right back up and he was like, so that he might be an alpha. And him kneeing Powerhouse Hobbs right into the face, which I was like, yeah, I gotta admit, he is, I'll say, what's that? He is definitely not a weakling, but yeah, he's definitely I'll say, not exactly invincible, but I'll say very incredibly, strong, I should say. For him getting right back up after taking a devastating clothesline. This is where we got Powerhouse Hobbs and Mark Davis start clotheslining each other. This is where we got, Mark Davison super drop kicks Lance Archer right to the upper right side. He tried to run, but this is where he gets booed, but this is where he tried to hold on to the boot, but he gets pushed whoa, boom! And this is where then this is where Lance Archer picks up Mark Davis. This is where he tried to go for an avalanche maneuver, probably like a suplex or something. But this is where we got, what's his name? Mark Davis start fighting back, but this is where Konosuke Takeshita try to odd up the events to make it a double team avalanche suplex. But this is where we got Powerhouse Hobbs came in and saved the day as tag partner by picking him up underneath. This is where then he goes for a Tower of Doom, knocking both men down. This is where he got back in his pose to try to tag in Mark Davis, get tagged by Mark, which he finally got in the ring. This is where fans start chanting for a Powerhouse Hobbs. This is where he took off the suspenders, I finally got where I want you. The suspenders comes off. This is where we got Konosuke Takeshita the forearm strike onto Hobbs. This is where he ends up getting booed as well. This is where we got Lance Archer try to go for a choke slam, which he managed to do so, but he couldn't get the win completely because this is where we got Hobbs got the kick out at 2.8, almost a near fall. This is where the Lance Archer's like, this cannot be right. Nobody does not kick out of a choke slam like this powerful before. This is where Konosuke Takeshita tried to expose his knee pad, they hit the exposed running knee for a good measure, but this is where he gets dragged out of the ring by Mark Davis. This is where Mark Davis sends the Alpha right into the barricade, gets him a little bit of revenge and justice for himself. But he also gets justice for others because that's why he's the Saint, because he can be helpful and understanding and always do the right thing. But this is where he gets closed out by Lance Archer. But Powerhouse Hobbs then got him right in his control, threw him right to the top, hit a power slam right into the middle of the ring. That's where fans are there. Yeah, do the spine bust. This is where then Powerhouse Hobbs turned into Dave Bautista saying thumbs up and a thumbs down, slow motion. And then Powerhouse Hobbs is like, come on. It's where it hits the spine buster right on to Lance Archer for the 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Powerhouse Hobbs and Mark Davis. And I would give a huge congratulations to them getting the silver trophy of the award. I would give the golden trophy, but it was almost close to being best match. But I just thought that the opener when Matt Cardona and Brian Keefe gets the golden trophy for multiple reasons, especially for it to be a general entertaining bout, with Brian Keefe and Chris Jericho and Matt Cardona are the most interesting wrestlers in all of PW, 3 of them, in the top probably 100,000 list, if not the a million list, I guess you could say. But this is where we got Powerhouse Hobbs. And you're looking at your next international champion. And I was like, yep, more likely, because it'll be completely pointless if you don't build things up into a title run with him. Especially with him getting ditched by the Don Callis family. This is the perfect way to get some justice onto his foreign allies. But this is where we got Konosuke Takeshita then going for running over. This is where he tried to run him over with the international championship. But this is where Powerhouse Hobbs caught him before he could even hit him right. This is where he spine busted him. And then this is where it ended by him holding on to the international championship. Now I'm like, gee, I wonder when we're going to have this international title match. But let me know in the comments below. Just give me your speculation. You are very welcome, Birdie Bird. And yeah, but yeah, that was the end of AEW Rampage for tonight. And I'm probably gonna be doing like a couple more Rampage. How many weeks left? How many weeks is left for this year in 2024 in December? I'll say probably not that much. I'll say probably about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, like 2 more Fridays away, and then then it's probably gonna be at the end. Like, and we got like 2 Fridays left of this year, so we got like 2 more Rampage to do. Then we call the quits, and then we're all gonna be doing AEW Dynamite and Collision. So, I must have not left it on. I apologize. Was it on? Oh, it's this way. But yeah. But what are your thoughts on AEW? Oh yeah, and I totally forgot how I would rate. But I forgot to tell you how I would rate AEW. Not AEW. I mean WWE SmackDown, which I would say about 4.5 stars. Like for being a very decently entertaining show. And I'll give it that much. And how would you rate SmackDown? I forgot to tell you that. I apologize about that. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I also will rate AEW Rampage. And maybe I'll say a 4 stars. Like that's not how you think it. Yes. Anyways, Assassinators. Yeah. But anyways, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin, on this very interesting SNA podcast video, and I hope y'all enjoyed. And if so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button, consider hitting the subscribe and the post notification bell for more content. And also, please make sure to check out my my wrestling news on December 14th, 2024. And also make sure to check out my both my Saturday night's main event review video, where we're going to be seeing the likes of Cody Rhodes defend his WWE title against Kevin Owens, Gunther versus the former 2 teammates of the Judgment Day of Damian Priest and Finn Balor, and a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship match, and Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship, and the first ever crowning of the Women's United States Championship between Chelsea Green and Michin. And we see Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre as well. And we're also going to be seeing doing an AEW Collision review video, where we're going to be talking about what exactly will go down on the. Wait, before you do, make sure that I end this video. But anyways, it's sad. Yeah, but I still got a podcast I need to do, and my assassinators need to see.
That's enough.
But anyways, assassinators, but yeah. But we're also going to see what's going to happen on the Winners Coming edition of Collision, live in St. Louis, Missouri.
I cannot even see you.
That's the thing. Y'all turn off the light. But anyway.
Can you turn the lights on?
But they can still hear me, though, like with me talking onto the podcast. But anyways, I hope y'all all had a fun Friday night, and I hope you have a fun Saturday as well. And I'll see you all in the next video with some more Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye. And see you all tomorrow on those very interesting shows from both WWE and AEW in the world of professional wrestling. Like, the podcast will never end, and I will see you guys less than 24 hours or even 12 hours from now. But yeah, peace out, and see you guys on the next videos. Bye bye.